What up, fam? It's your boy, Black Innovator, coming at you again with your tailored word, where we discuss Bible, business, and more. So I've been gone for a while, dealing with business and personal issues, stuff like that. But more importantly, I didn't want to put anything out there that's not, with any substance. I want to put the content that you want to hear, the kind of content. I've heard some of your feedbacks, so if you can leave a comment below, or you can contact me at this email address, and whatever the content you want to hear concerning Bible. If you got a question about the Bible, a question about business, patents. We're going to start dealing with things covered with patents and copyright, trademarks, how to launch products. We got a lot that we're going to cover, but more importantly, I want to know what you want to hear. I can't do it, I know, without you responding to me. It's a two-way street. So leave a comment or email me, and we'll get that going for you. All right, I want to cover a topic that's been going on for a number of years. It's very serious. Watch this video, and I'll get back to you on the other side.
We begin tonight with breaking news from North Harris County, where deputies are investigating a frightening case of road rage.
Yes, we want you to take a look at this image behind us. Deputies believe a woman was followed right there and then shot by the man holding the semi-automatic weapon in the passenger seat of a car.
Very scary.
They actually do. They say, unfortunately, it was a case of road rage, and that shooting started on the street that I'm standing on now, and then it continued when the victim turned onto this street here. She was shot twice. She was able to make it to her home and call 911. A neighbor did that for her. Apparently, this happened after an accident with the suspects, but she had no idea that they had followed her after their collision.
Right, pow, 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 pow.
Multiple shots from a semi-automatic weapon fired in this North Harris County neighborhood in broad daylight. In surveillance video obtained by KPRC2, you can see footage captured in the middle of the shooting. First, a white car. That belongs to the victim. Followed right after by a dark-colored sedan with a male hanging out of the passenger side, firing what investigators say is a 7.62 millimeter semi-automatic rifle.
They stopped as the turn was going, and then once they got on the street and straightened out, the shooter leaned back out the window and continued firing at the vehicle.
A pregnant couple and their baby almost killed when an angry driver points a gun at them and actually fires. The father says it started when the speeding suspect almost crashed into their car.
Yeah, that intersection you were just talking about right here behind me, the suspect and the victim pulled up next to each other right about where you're looking, and that's when those shots were fired. The suspect then sped off, the victim down the road as well, and that's exactly where the video you're about to see picks up.
You all right, Sim? Just breathe, my boy. Just breathe. Just breathe, man.
I looked over and I saw the guy have like a shotgun, and he bow, 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 bow.
This blurry cell phone video, the only recording of the immediate aftermath of a violent example of road rage.
Like, we're not, expecting it to, take the drastic turn that it did.
Tremont Jones, his pregnant girlfriend Carlisa, and their 10-month-old daughter Cassie at the other end of the barrel after they say they were nearly slammed into by a speeding driver here on Campbellton Road just last week and coincidentally pulled up next to them moments later. There was a verbal altercation. Trey and Carlisa made it clear there was a child in the car and tried to de-escalate, but it was too late.
And I just seen him raise the gun up and just start shooting into the car.
Trey shot twice in the back, a bullet clipping his spinal cord. Carlisa hit in the hand as seen in this x-ray image. And thankfully, 10-month-old Cassie safe and sound.
I know what you're thinking, like, how could somebody be this cruel, this harsh, this evil to fire upon, an innocent person, to take out, a weapon and shoot at a car, right? With a child, with a pregnant woman, just anybody, but particularly a child or a pregnant woman. Well, let me share with you my personal testimony of what happened with me years ago. We're dealing with the spirit of road rage. Road rage is a spirit. There's a spirit behind it. I recall in the early 2000s, maybe 2002, 2003, somewhere around there, I was in Chicago, and I was driving my mother to an appointment downtown Chicago. And as we were driving along on Roosevelt, downtown Chicago, And, you know, it was a beautiful summer day, windows down. You know, we didn't use a lot of AC in Chicago, right? So as I went to get over in the other lane, a car next to me honks the horn, right? They honked the horn, and it was a black BMW. So I said, oh, I apologize, you know, and immediately jumped back in my lane. So I was at fault. I couldn't. It was in my blind spot in my rearview mirror. I didn't look over my shoulder properly. So I you know, said I'm sorry. So as we continue going down the street, this other black car pulls up on the side of me. Right now, keep in mind, I told you we had the windows down, and this white guy who's in the car, he has the window down, and there's no reference to no matter the color. I'm just trying to get you detail about the whole incident. So the guy, what he does is he pulls up next to the side of me, and he lets his window down, and he's cursing me out like you would not believe, calling me everything but the child of God. And so my mom is like, you know, his car is black as well, but it's like a black Toyota or something like that, right? So my mom is like, is that the, you know, that's the guy you ran over? Didn't you say you were sorry? And I said, yeah, I did, but that's not even a car that I almost, you know, cut into. That's not even a car. That car is back there. I don't know who this guy is. So, make a long story short, so the guy is he's just irate. He's screaming at the top of his lungs and just going off, right? And I see him, and I'm trying to just, you know, just ignore him as much as possible, but he's making it hard to ignore him. I see him grab the steering wheel and yank it towards me, right? And so, and as I'm looking, so immediately, you know, if he comes this way, I try to avoid him. You know, I guess I'll do it like this. If he coming towards me, I turn to avoid him. What happens is he hit, you know, I guess he thought he was going to try to cut me off, but he hit the front of my car. He hit the front of my car, which causes me to go towards the curb. And thank God in Chicago, the curbs are, you know, downtown extremely high to prevent people from running up on the curb and, you know, seriously hurting somebody. And I hit the curb right at a bus stop where there were, I mean, dozens of people at this bus stop. This guy calls me, he hit the front of my car. Like I said, I can tell he was trying to cut me off, but he didn't realize, I think maybe I had sped up to try to get away from him, something but the timing, and he actually hit the front of my car in the process and caused me to hit the curb. And once I hit the curb, my car just, you know, it just ended at the curb. You know, it came to slammed on the brakes and it dead stopped at the curb. Now everybody at the bus stop is seeing this. I mean, the bus stop is crowded, and so he just continues to down the street. I am livid. I am just livid. I am blown out of my mind of how somebody can be that ignorant, right? So what I do, throw it in reverse, catch up to him, and this guy had the audacity, he got caught at the stoplight, he had the audacity to get out of his car and start walking back towards me with his arms like, what you want to do? What you want to do? And I must admit, I love the Lord, but I said, this is not going to be good. So I immediately sped my car up and gets right behind him. I sped my car, I get right behind him. And I still don't know what his problem is because he's not the car that I almost cut off. So I sped up right behind him. I jump out the car. My mom's in the car and she's screaming. My mom is the most, you know, God bless her soul. She's the most anti-violent person I've ever met. She's never bleeding fighting, and I've always bleeding fighting. I mean, I fought, I guess coming out the womb, I was fighting all my life. So, and here it is, I'm running to this guy, and I know what I'm trying to do is he you know, I guess he was seeing me coming and didn't realize that my reactions. So now he wants to get back in the car. No, sir. You done caused all this damage. You are not just simply about to get back in the car and not explain to me or give me some kind of response to what happened. So I literally just, he tries to, I backed him up into the door. He had a door. I backed him up into his doorway, and he's trying to get back. He's a little cocky guy, we had a little weight on him. And I, no, you're not finna get in the car. I'm literally preventing him from getting in the car. Like, dude, what is your problem? And I'm gonna be honest. I didn't want to hit him. I wanted to cause him to hit me. I wanted to cause him to hit me because he's a white guy, city of Chicago, downtown. I said, nah. So, make a long story short, now I'm not, please, I'm gonna get to the reason I'm saying all this, right? So I am literally nose to nose with him, telling him, just trying to provoke him to hit me. Because I still don't understand, why did this guy do this? And my mom's outside the car and she's yelling, get back in the car. No, let's go, let's go. And so, and finally it comes clear as the BMW that I almost ran off, almost cut off, the BMW pulls up on the side of us, right? And long and behold, they let their window down, and they're yelling, they're telling him that their son to get in the car. This is their son, right? I guess he must have been trailing them somewhere. They must have been going somewhere, and he was behind them, and he seen me actually almost cut his parents off, and he just lost it, just blew his top. So I said a few choice words to his parents about him. And in the meanwhile, like I said, the whole time I'm trying to provoke him. So I'm like, he is going, I'm pointing it. I'm trying to get him to do something first. Like, as what he did wasn't already enough. But let me tell another part of the story is, I hear the people at the bus stop, now they're running because they are livid as well, because he's almost caused them to, they are running towards down there, to see the action, see what's going on, and probably get involved. So I know if I kept this guy here any longer, it's not gonna be pretty. It's not gonna be pretty. You got a bunch of angry people, black, white, Hispanic, all different kind of people running down there, right? I don't know if they're trying to see what's, what the deal is, or I don't know, but they're yelling, hey, they're yelling some choice words. So here I'm thinking, like, do I delay this guy? What do I do? Because, this guy's got me just, livid. So I back up off of him, let him get in his car, he drives off. And so the people, by the time they reach down there, they're actually mad at me for letting him get, like, I let him get away. Like, I should have held him in custody or something. I'm like, I'm not an officer, what I'm saying? So they're like, oh, why didn't you hold him? Why did you, I'm like, what am I supposed to do, So I get to the car, I pull off, and I'm telling you, I've been in many street fights, in gang fights, you name it. I have never in my life experienced that type of rage. Never. And my mom, she, God bless her, but my mom, if you had a mom, mom was going to say what mom wants to say. So she scolded me for getting out the car and almost allowing this situation to happen. And I literally lost. I said, Mom, I literally lost it on my mom, right? Which I'm just glad that wasn't my final day on this earth, because I lost it. I said, Mom, please. I just went off. And so let me wrap it up. So what happens is I was just in a rage like I never felt before. So I dropped my mom off at her appointment. I dropped her off, and this rage just welled up in me. Talking about this rage, like I'm talking about, I lost it. So mad, I was so livid that I literally drove through a stop sign downtown. I mean, a red light, downtown Chicago. I zoned out. I zoned out, you know, and I just drove through, and the cars stopped, you know, slamming on brakes and everything. I did not care. At that point, I didn't care. All I wanted to do was go find this gentleman and do some bodily harm, put it like that. So I was driving around downtown, and I couldn't shake this rage. I couldn't shake this unadulterated hate, this pure despise, I couldn't shake it. So I finally had to pull over. You know, I was saved then. I was in the church, and newly saved, but I still, nonetheless, I finally had to pull over, and I said, Lord, I said, God, I'm going to kill somebody. What is this? I said, I need you to take this away from me. I said, God, I am about to, when I tell you that spirit of rage came on me, it didn't matter who I hurt. I wanted to hurt someone, right? And I said, what is this? It was outside of me, my character, my nature. And the Lord, the Holy Spirit spoke to me. He said, that is the spirit of road rage. There's a spirit that the enemy has placed in the earth called road rage. And when he told me, he immediately took it away from me. He said, tell my people about it. Right? He said, tell my people about it. This is what they're giving prey to when you allow, when any spirit, you have to open yourself up to receive it. Right? Any spirit. What I did was, I opened myself up when I entertained what this guy was doing. I'm not saying that I shouldn't have said nothing, but I literally went after him to do bodily. I mean, I opened myself up to that spirit, and it came in and it took over me. But thank God the Lord allowed me to see it. He suffered it to happen just so I can tell the people of God about this spirit. About this spirit of road rage. When I tell you, it is 100% unadulterated, pure rage, and you cannot control it. You cannot. Had not God taken that spirit from me, I would probably be in prison right now. I'm talking about it. I've never seen it, never felt nothing like it. But so this is what I'm doing now. I'm sharing it, that, you know, we have to be careful out here. The enemy has things, pitfalls. Paul said, I would not have you ignorant to Satan's devices, right? There are many devices, plural, devices, plural. And one of the devices that he's using in this form of fashion is this spirit of road rage. So when you're out there in the streets, when you're driving, please take heed to what I'm saying. These people who are doing this, they are not in their right minds. They are, you know, and it can happen to anybody. Here is, I was a Bible-toting, Holy Ghost-filled, loving God, and I wanted to kill someone. But I believe God allowed it to happen just so I can experience it, to share it with you. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm telling you. So please be careful, be prayerful. It ain't worth it, people. Somebody cut you off, somebody say something, keep it moving. It's not worth it. Ever since I've had that experience, I've changed my perspective. I used to be a hunker. I mean, I'll honk the horn. I would lay on that horn. You know, ever since that experience, I kind of changed my perspective. Not that I'm afraid. I'm more so afraid of, I don't want that spirit. I'm afraid of what I might do. I don't want to deal with that. So with that being said, pray for you. God bless you. Love you, and be safe.